Action, and it's all about junior golf, and Kenya finished second in the All Africa Junior Golf Championships that took place here in Nairobi at the Windsor Golf Club, and that means that the Kenya boys team will be participating in the World Championships that will be in Japan, and this is after finishing second, and South Africa took the top position. Also, South Africa took the top position in the girls category, as well as Kenya finishing second in the girls category. I had a chance of speaking to Junior Golf Foundation president, that is Vincent Mukiri, and he says Kenya is on the right trajectory when you talk about growing golf in the country. Let's listen in.
Yeah, it's been very busy, and we thank God for that. We have been very anxious to host this well, and so we are happy to celebrate a successful hosting where we hosted about 14 African countries in the All African Junior Team Championship for 2026, and also did well in that competition.
I mean, yesterday, when the competition came to a conclusion, Kenya finishing second. What did you make of the whole general performance for the boys? Of course, qualifying for the World Championships in Japan, the girls finishing second ahead of behind both for the boys and girls, behind South Africa. What did you make of Kenya's general performance?
Well, so just before this event, we sat down and set up team goals as well as individual goals. Our team goal was to get a podium finish, and at best a gold, and at worst a bronze, and so a silver is within the team goal that we set. The players also had individual goals. These players had been in camp for the last 9 months, and they have trained on a lot of things. The first thing that they have trained is something we call skills training, which is basically what coaches teach. But we have also incorporated a bit of mental coaching, a bit of nutrition, and a bit of strength and conditioning. And so we were optimistic that they would do well, and we knew that South Africa was a team to chase, and we really wanted to finish ahead of Morocco and ahead of Uganda and ahead of Tunisia. And so we are grateful for this finish, and it says that we have come full circle in terms of what we've been doing for the year preparing for this event.
When you take a look at the final day of the championships, Morocco was really coming head on your heels. I mean, you were the team manager and you are, the president of Junior Golf. How did that make you feel, knowing that at some point they were just 3 shots behind you?
Well, it was a bit caused a bit of anxiety within my team. Of course, we were communicating and tracking how the teams are performing. And I think at some point I asked my coaches whether we need to change anything. I asked them, is our players okay? And we came to the conclusion that we should trust the process, because we had prepared ourselves for these times and had told the players when that time came, then they would need to dig deep and be resilient to see through that. And of course, immediately after a couple of holes, they bounced back and increased that lead to 6 and ultimately 5 to finish with that event. So that's good, because it's part of what we were training, and we were able to execute it and get the results from it. So that's good for us.
Yes. And when you take a look at the last 5 or 6 years, it's been hosted by Tunisia, South Africa, Morocco. For us, Kenya, to host such an event, and it comes out as successful for the juniors. What do you make of us when it comes to developing junior golfers in the country?
Well, it's a great thing, because when you host it here, a lot of people are watching. There are many juniors who ask themselves, when I'm starting this journey of junior golf, what is in it for me? And some of them were able to see the type of platforms and the type of competitions that they will get in. Again, as a country, sports tourism, a lot of these people came and they visited our places, they visited our hotels, they visited our safari parks. And so that's also good for sports tourism. And even as administrators, we were able to learn a lot of things about how to host this event. When I talked with the AGC president, President Omolo, he said that we hosted really well. And we were able to then again just give our visitors a good feel about our country. So this is good for us. In fact, we expect that a lot of juniors will now want to get into golf. Remember, we have the Golf in Schools program. We had some school children coming and watching and following the juniors, and I could hear them talking about golf terms like albatross, eagles, and so the message is getting home. And for them to see these countries coming, seeing them playing, seeing us winning, then it brings all this close and saying it can be done. And even the administrators just being able to know, how do I handle this, how do I handle this other thing, and seeing how it can be done is a growth for all of us in all aspects. Yeah.
Yes, you've mentioned, the Golf in Schools program. We've been hearing about it, but can you elaborate more about what Golf in Schools program is all about?
So far, we are about 5,000 juniors in the countries that are actively taking this golf. And the next frontier of growth is of course schools. We have many hundreds of thousands of juniors in schools, and our target as a Junior Golf Foundation, and which we have started, is then to go to schools and train schools in golf, either using nearby golf courses or within the school compound, where we innovate and just go with the clubs, or even get clubs that are adapted to make sure that we play this game in the school. So we are calling it Golf in Schools and Communities. And what we are looking at through this Golf in Schools and Communities is a situation where it can become part of the program of a school. So the same way we played football as part of the 4 o'clock or PE, then we are making sure that we can do golf as a PE program, as an after 4 program. And so this will revolutionize the game. We expect to get about 10,000 new juniors over a couple of years through the Golf in Schools program. Again, the Golf in Schools program will help us impact teachers, because some of those teachers will become our coaches. And so what happens is, then when you have more coaches in the game, then you are able to have more children come into the game. Remember, golf has many advantages. Yeah. Golf is a game of life, teaches you discipline, teaches you about integrity, teaches you about character. And we feel that a school that has got golf as a sport offering will probably impact more players in a real life way better than most other sports.
Remember, we said that, or not we said, but South Africa finished first, Kenya finished second, and there was a big gap between number 1 and 2. But from your own estimation as the president of JGFA in Kenya, probably how long will it take us to cover that gap between Kenya and South Africa, now that they are our biggest competitors?
We have learned a lot from South Africa in terms of how they do things. They are very thorough. And so the target we've set for us is first to understand that South Africa has a rich golfing history that stretches maybe 30, 40, 50 years ahead of us. Remember, they have had players play international tournaments at the highest level. And so we believe that they are about 30 or 40 years ahead of us. And so what we are looking is to be able to condense that time from 30 to 40 years and be able to achieve what they are able to achieve in the next 10 years, maybe even 7 years. And we believe that just by learning what they are doing, just by doing what we are doing better, we will be able to do that. One of the things we have done is that below this, we have a group of about 30 players who can play at the top level. Then below them, we have about 100 or 150 players that we can train to play at a very high level. And so the challenge for us is to come up with a structure that caters for these 100 or 150 players by ensuring that we have a great training curriculum, and secondly, that we have many coaches who are able to train at that level. And then we are able to diversify our training so that we are not just training for skills, we are also training for things like mental coaching, we are training for nutrition, we are training for the strength and conditioning. I don't know whether you saw the South African players, they were bulked up. So our players need to bulk up and go to the gym. We have started the mental coaching, where how do you react when a shot is bad or when a hole is bad, and our players are responding well. So it's just bringing all these things full circle and ensuring that we can then execute them. And that is what, as a Junior Golf Foundation, of course with the support of our parent organization KGU and KLGU and our sponsors, and of course people like media who are highlighting this program and what we are doing, we will then in the next 7-10 years be able to do and achieve what South Africa is doing.
Finally, Vincent, the year is still very young. Match is coming to an end. Now we are done, of course, with the All Africa. What programs do you have set for the rest of the year?
We continue to have our normal competitions. We have 40 to 50 competitions every year for juniors. And this is exciting because through these competitions, the juniors are able to then feature in our order of merit. And following this order of merit, we are then able to choose our camp. So we will choose our elite camp in the next 1 month or so. We have also introduced regional squads, so we are also getting into regional camps where all across our 6 regions, we have the top 10 players, 5 boys and 5 girls, also getting in a camp where they are trained at least twice a month to then get ready for that type of training. Below them, we have the grassroots training that happens across the country. We have about 100 coaches that are continuously training. And so we have an exciting year ahead. Before then, and in between, we have competitions, regional competitions, international competitions that our juniors are competing against other people. And so the year is very full. And our work is just to ensure that we can keep collecting the data, reacting to the data, and ensuring that we are not losing out in any aspect of growth. So yes, a lot of things planned for, the camps, the competitions, the reviews, and ultimately, of course, we expect a lot of growth within the year.
Now, still sticking with some junior golf, remember Windsor were the hosts of